Tragedy strikes a Florida neighborhood when a late-night ride ends in a near-fatal crash, and emotions boiled on scene.
You can address your questions to me and not talk about anybody else. I really don't care what they said. You're having a conversation with me. Okay. So would you mind giving me a statement tonight?
I would like to leave.
Well, then get out of here. Goodbye.
This is Inside the Crime, presented by Law&Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner. Multiple people were injured in this crash. A teen girl was left with a broken arm. Another was left with severe brain trauma. But the driver, he took off as passengers had to be rushed to the hospital. It's December 23rd of 2023. We're in Jupiter Farms, Florida. Some friends were having a sleepover to celebrate the sweet 16 of Makayla Mullins. Her friend's stepfather had a suggestion. Let's go on a late-night ride in the Can-Am Defender. A Can-Am Defender is an off-road utility vehicle, and it can seat multiple people. That night, the driver of the Can-Am was reportedly speeding and failed to stop at a T intersection. He lost control of the vehicle, which ended up overturning into a canal.
How many people are in it? 6. So 3 are at Jupiter with the driver. There's, I think, 3 at St. Mary's. No, 2 at St. Mary's with this guy. So the one at St. Mary's has been underwater for 4 minutes. They did doing CPR when he left here. They're intubating her right now down there, which my medic tells me wired until I think she's 15. And then I gave it to Greg, working with him. And then I have Josh at Jupiter to do the impairment assessment, and the truck's on its way. So, but apparently this guy's being a little bit on the water.
I'm recording.
No, that's fine. I gotta get on my
I
cell.
can't really figure out how to mute it most of the time anyway, so I just let it roll. Okay.
Who's this guy? One of the passengers.
But he's being uncooperative.
A little bit.
Okay. Is he related to the victim?
I don't know.
Is this like a family?
I think it's multiple families.
You see what they're doing, right? This is old.
Yeah.
This is old. That's new up there. where they gouged it out up there like this.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you've also got some turnaround marks showing up there. So they did it once and got away with it. And they did it again. And this time, whoever was driving just missed the turn, or maybe the grass was a little too hard, but the ground was a little too hard. I don't know. But either way, it doesn't turn. This is
Fire rescue was all involved.
Yeah, but this is done. If you look, this is the back two, that's the front two. So they're already sideways, right here. And then that's where they did it the first time. So you can see it caught here, but this time it just slid. And that's when they go over right here. You would think that those great big treads on that thing would hold the ground better, but it didn't. They're probably real hard, and it slid right across the top of this. This right in here. That's where they lost it. This is when it was too late. But how skinny are they? They don't look super skinny. They look like they're about maybe 8 inches wide. So.
According to Palm Beach County deputies, one teen broke her arm. 2 other passengers sustained minor injuries, but Makayla was left clinging onto life. She was thrown from the vehicle and pinned underwater for nearly 10 minutes before Good Samaritans pulled her out. When Palm Beach County Fire Rescue arrived, they resuscitated her on scene. Then she had to be rushed to St. Mary's Medical Center. Investigators wanted to get to the bottom of what happened. Was this a tragic accident? Could anything have been done to prevent this? But when they speak with one of the passengers, things quickly go off the rails.
My name is Investigator Sean Ramsey. I work for the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office in vehicle homicide. My understanding you were a passenger in the side-by-side? Okay. Would you be willing to speak with us about the crash tonight? Is that a yes or a no?
What would you like to know?
I'd like to know what happened, but if I can, I'd like to conduct a sworn recorded statement with you. And since you're an occupant, you're not a suspect. Okay?
I have been told I'm not allowed to leave.
Well, being as how you're a passenger, an occupant in this crash, no, I'd like to speak with you first, and I'd like to get a recorded statement.
So am I being held, or am I free to leave?
I cannot legally detain you, so if this is what you want to do,
This officer told me I was not been free to leave all
you can
night.
either speak to me, you can address your questions to me, and not talk about anybody else. I really don't care what they said. You're having a conversation with me.
Okay.
So would you mind giving me a statement tonight?
I would like to leave.
Well, then get out of here. Goodbye. By the way, if you have additional questions or information that you're seeking, do not call me.
One witness seemed to be very helpful to the investigation. He told deputies one of the passengers came out to his front door after the crash, begging for help.
Do you remember where they were? We talked earlier. You said there was like chaos going on. They were all in the water.
Yeah, so when I came up to the canal and I stepped in, there was one man who had a messed up left arm, I believe it was, and he said the bone was sticking out and that he had broken it and that he wasn't much help. But there was another man in black clothing who was a little bit scrawnier, and he was the one trying to egg us on to get the side-by-side flipped over and asking for Makayla, and he seemed a bit intoxicated, as well as the man who broke his arm.
Okay.
It was the two of them who tried to help in the first place until a neighbor behind the canal pulled up in his truck and was able to finally give us the help we needed to get the side-by-side flipped over. And then at that point, paramedics had responded, and right about 30 seconds to a minute after we got the side-by-side flipped over.
Okay.
The third man, I didn't really have much. I didn't talk to him much. I didn't really know what was going on with him. He may have also been stuck underneath the side-by-side for a short period of time. It appeared that maybe his leg was stuck underneath it because he came out of nowhere when after we were trying to flip it over the second or third time.
Okay.
And he also seemed like he was intoxicated, and it was he wasn't very much help to
Do you
the
remember
whole
what he was
situation.
wearing?
I don't.
Okay, that's fine. The females, the older female, do you remember what she was wearing?
They were both in just.
If you don't remember something,
okay,
just-
I don't remember.
That's fine. I don't want you to make anything up. Were they in the water as well? The older female, and the
No, the females were originally in the water, but they crawled out, and then the youngest one came up to my door.
Okay.
And after I hopped in the water to try and help them flip it over, they stood up here talking to the dispatcher. As I got in the water, I handed my phone to them to talk to the dispatcher as they were responding to the call.
okay.
And yes, yeah.
Did any of them talk about who was driving, where they were seated, anything like that you heard?
They didn't talk about who was seated where, but I do have a suspicion against the man in black clothing that was a bit scrawnier.
Okay. But you didn't see who was driving. They didn't say.
I did not see who was driving.
And they didn't say I was driving or so and so was driving or anything like that.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. All right. Anything that I haven't asked you think may be important?
Well, the men had lied about how long she was underwater at first, which was definitely an indication of intoxication.
Okay.
As the paramedic responded and they asked how long she was underwater, they said she was only under there for a couple minutes when it was well around 10 minutes, and they just didn't seem to have much of an idea of time at that point and what was really going on around them.
So you were out there for about 10 minutes, but you know for sure she was under the water?
After speaking with some of the passengers at the hospital, the driver was later ID'd as Ryan McCue. When deputies initially arrived on scene, Ryan was gone. After the crash, he ran off and allegedly stole a bystander's phone. When deputies caught up to him, he claimed he did nothing wrong.
Hey, get over here, man. Bro, I'm for you. I want to run in. East of 159. Get over here now! On the ground, now! On the ground!
Chill out.
Get on the ground, now!
Chill out.
Get on the ground!
I haven't done anything
Get
wrong.
on the ground now!
I haven't done anything wrong.
On the ground!
I haven't done anything wrong.
Hand behind your back.
I haven't done anything
Give me
wrong.
your hands.
I haven't done anything wrong.
Hey, that's not your phone. And you're running from a crash with serious bodily injuries.
No, I wasn't. I was just on the phone. I was just on the
14,
phone.
I got one.
I was just on the phone.
Still working on getting him detained.
I was just on the phone. That's all, dude. I was riding the back seat. I
Okay.
was just on the phone.
Stop. 14, I got one detained.
I was just on the back seat.
Okay.
I was just on the phone. No big deal, man.
It is a big deal.
Well, I was just on the back seat.
I just need a car to put him in.
I was just on the phone.
Yeah. This is gonna be your phone? Alright. You can clear traffic. Can you just go back to the scene for me?
I was just on the phone, man.
That's not your phone.
Well, yeah, it's on my phone, but
Okay.
I was just on the phone, man. Yeah.
Yeah, go east on 150, nothing right there. Have a good.
I was just in the back seat, man. I was
Okay.
just on the phone.
That's fine. Come on up.
Chilling, dude.
Come on up.
Cause he screaming after me, dude. What's he run for? Cause he's screaming after me. Who are you? This guy.
Yeah, I'm the cops.
Well, I know who you
I
were.
told you I was the police.
Well,
I already talked to you.
And sirens and stuff?
no,
Would you run off with that guy's phone?
no, this guy was just yelling, dude. I thought he was trying to beat me up or something.
That's fine.
Chill, man.
Just walk, man.
Can we slow down? Damn, I feel like I'm running.
You could run a minute ago,
Yeah,
right?
10-4.
What was the other truck?
The truck, he heard it.
Bystander?
Yeah, he just heard it, came over here, and then let this guy borrow his phone. And when I walked back up with you, he goes, he just ran off my phone.
Sorry, man. I didn't.
No worries, man.
I was just
I ain't mad.
just riding along.
I got no beef with you, man.
Okay.
I left the other guy. I don't know.
No, you're good.
He's pretty out of it.
Yeah.
He was not like talking to me.
Using the booking information, we don't know if there's any outstanding.
Whose car is that? That's
Maybe.
Is that your car?
Mine's right there on the left, the first one. We can just dump it in there.
I don't know if he's going in the car.
Yeah, just bring it to mine for now. Yeah, mine's the first one. That's just how they're still working on her. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a rest check.
That's fine. I'm putting in this first car. Yeah, that's ma'am. Give me a second.
So she's out of the water. They're just working on it.
Go left.
Yeah, we will.
Take a seat. Hold up. Hold on. What? Make sure you ain't got any weapons, man. Alright, take a seat.
officers noted Ryan's speech was slurred, but the bystander ultimately refused prosecution. Blood tests later showed Ryan was way above the legal limit. One test showed his BAC at .166, another at .127. The crash had devastating consequences. It left 16-year-old Makayla Mullins with injuries she'll never recover from. She can no longer walk or even stand. Her legs are permanently contracted. She can no longer speak. She relies on a feeding tube, and she requires around-the-clock care. On April 8th of 2024, 4 months after the near-fatal crash, deputies arrived at Ryan's door, this time with an arrest warrant.
What's up, man?
How's it going?
Good, man. You got kids and stuff in there?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, perfect. Yes. I'm going to try to make it as cool as possible for
I
you.
have my attorney on the phone.
No problem, dude. No problem. It's all good. Whatever you need. You have a chance.
Sorry, I was sleeping. I was trying to get dressed.
Sorry, no worries. We treat you with respect, man. It's sorry. I read your report. The situation isn't that crazy of a deal, so you just got stuff you got to handle. We're here to just pick you up, basically just transport you to the jail.
Okay.
There's a lot of us because all we do is we do this all day with everybody. So there's guys, killers,
Sure there's
you know, so you
yeah.
figure it out, right? So we're just gonna get you a process. I'll take you down there. You can use the phone, talk to whoever you need to talk to. You have anything on you that I need to like?
No, I just.
Just your phone. You're good.
Yeah, should I grab my wallet or
You don't even
something?
need it. The belt.
Yeah, the belt.
You leave it. Leave it.
Oh, leave it home?
Yeah.
What's that?
You're gonna switch them out anyway.
Sure, I'll talk to him. I'll tell him. Yeah, so I'm with the warrants unit, and I'll get him squared away on what he needs and stuff like that. They don't let him take anything like that because they dress them all out nowadays. So they put them in their own outfits, but I'm just having him take as least as possible so that way it's easier to process in and out.
I understand. He won't make first appearance today, though. It'll be tomorrow, right?
Yeah, tomorrow for sure.
Okay. Ryan, I will see you at first appearance tomorrow morning, all right?
Okay.
And we'll get you out tomorrow.
Okay.
Have your wife call me later today, and I'll talk to her about a bondsman or something. Or do you already have one?
I don't have one now.
All right. Tell her to call me, and we'll find a bondsman, all right?
Okay.
All right. I'll see you in the morning.
All right, thank you.
It's going to be a long day, but they're just going to take you down there. You'll sit in the jail, and they'll bring you to court tomorrow morning. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I mean, listen. So pretty simple. I can I'll make it easy for you. Get you booked in, treat you right. You can leave your belt. If your wife wants to ask me any question, I want to make sure she leaves here knowing that we're not treating her wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think she's pregnant or something like that. I thought maybe we're not.
She is pregnant.
Yeah, you know, I get it. So just want to make sure she understands that whatever happened, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We just want to help facilitate you to get the process started, get you down there.
Okay.
But I don't want her to think that you see all this and it's not because you're a bad guy. It's just kind of how it rolls.
Yeah.
So,
It's him again.
yeah, good.
Hey.
Yeah, yes,
Ryan,
yes.
ask the officer if there is a bond set on that warrant.
There is no bond. It says no bond. So
Okay.
essentially means obviously you just got to see the judge tomorrow morning, anyways.
Right. I just wanted to make sure if there was one already, I'd be able to get to work on it.
Yeah, I'll when I get to the car, I'll double check it, but I don't recall there being one. So.
All right. If there is, could you let us know?
Yeah, I'll let him know, and I'll let him call you directly if that's the case.
That's great. Thank you. All right. I appreciate your help.
No worries. Sounds good. We can get out of here. So drop the belt off.
Honey, just give Donnie a call. Okay.
I'm keeping it with my belt. I'm going to text you his cell phone number. Okay? I love you. Bye.
All right. Cool. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Just walk over to him. He'll take care of you.
The investigation report also revealed the Can-Am Defender wasn't street legal and wasn't authorized to be operated on a roadway. The vehicle reportedly lacked safety equipment like doors, airbags, and ABS brakes. None of the passengers were wearing seatbelts or safety equipment like helmets. But investigators determined Ryan was driving in a reckless manner. He reportedly failed to appropriately respond and slowed down for the stop sign and into roadway warning signs when approaching the intersection. On April 8th, he faced a slew of charges, including 2 counts of reckless driving causing serious injury, 2 counts of DUI causing bodily injury, 1 count of leaving the scene of a crash involving serious bodily injury, 1 count of child neglect causing serious bodily injury, plus operating an unregistered vehicle. By December 4th of 2025, Ryan pleaded guilty to 4 felony charges related to the crash. He was given the minimum sentence of 13 years in prison and 20 years of probation. His probation comes with a twist. After his release, Ryan will be ordered to spend a night in jail each year on December 22nd. The date of the crash. Online records reveal Ryan McCue is serving his sentence at the South Florida Reception Center in Doral, Florida. His release date is set for November of 2038. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Inside the Crime. I'm Elizabeth Millner.